Alright, folks. Konnichiwa. Minasan yokoso. Welcome, welcome. Right. Review day for Unit 58. Let's get right into it. No time to slack off. Okay. Unit 58. Belongings. Oh, this one worked out really well. This setup. So let's do that again. Ooh. 色 紫 Oh, I have to correct this error. Made this error last time, yesterday. I one more. The other color. 紫 を緑 緑 what was the main branch? What were we discussing? Oh, one of the main branch. Seasons. Wait. Haru. Not Aki. Uyu. Bukuro. Umi. Kutsushita. Die. The counter die. Hmm. Eh, Bukuro. Other stuff. Do. Kuruma. Oh, that's not die. We were using soku. 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 We're using die. Die. Uh, die. Die for kuruma. Or bigger objects. Kuruma. Keitai. 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 Keitai Denwa. Alright. Predicates. Oh. And adjectives. Oh boy. Kitsui. Kitsui. Specifically for tight. Kitsui. And no. Kitsui. Yoroi? Yuroi. Yuroi kind of sounds Yurui. It's probably Yurui. Because I remember I wrote Ro and it wasn't correct. Yeah. I think it's Yurui. And they used the kana for this. Yeah, I specifically remember writing Ro yesterday and it sounded and wasn't it. So Yurui. Or loose. So Kitsui and Yurui. Then we have a bunch of predicates. Shimeru. Akeru. And adverbial. Yukuri. Yukuri. Skeru. Skeru. 消す。止める。止める。持つ。待つ。Oh, we added these two. I think that was it. I don't think there was anything else. That was like super new. Alright, 電気、窓、電気、窓、ドア、壁。No, okay. Unit 57. 57. Weather? Weather. Only going over the essentials. 暑い。Wait, wrong direction. 寒い。寒い。暖かい。涼しい。狭い。広い。広い。広い。傘。刺す。進み。あ、進む。進む。曲がる。角。角。 まっすぐ。しかし。月。月。like 入れる出す。Oh, no, no, no. That's fine. Don't need those. Alright, I think that's fine. We're good. Yeah, not much last unit. I forgot something last time. Did I forget it this time? No. No, we corrected Haru. And Haru was corrected. Son of a bit. Son of a bit. Son of a bee sting. I forgot a bit. Hayai. Hayai is what I forgot. Again. What else did I? No, I think we're good. Oof. Oh, wait. No, we're good. Hayai, man, that's just... Oh, I took over adjective. No, wait. Yeah, I took over adjectives too. Dang it. Alright, whatever. Fine. Alright. So what? 40 minutes. Oh, okay. Alright. Personalized practice. I wonder how far this goes back.
温かいお茶をお願いします。
Atatakai. So we just got Atatakai. He wrote Atatakai. Atatakai. Atatakai ocha o onegai shimasu. Yep, that's it. Okay, fine. Ocha. I think culture self-explanatory, right? Same. O and then cha. Ocha. Okay.
温かい紅茶
Oh, do they have? Okay. Atatakai culture. Culture wa arimasu ka?
はあか
新しい彼女は楽しい人です。
新しい彼女は楽しい人です。Okay. So we have 彼女。Right. 彼女。新しい彼女は楽しい人です。Okay. ケンさんとね パーティーに行きました。楽しい？脂濃い。うん。薄い。nothing here.
カーテンは薄かったです。
カーテンは薄かったです。I don't think I have 薄い。No, I do not have 薄い。Yeah.
ホテルは静かじゃなかったです。部屋の壁も薄かったです。夜、隣の部屋でパーティーがありました。とてもうるさかったです。
私も悪いレビューを書きました。
Speaking of hotels being noisy, there were a few people who had some interesting drinks. When I was like just chilling in the hotel, there were varying versions. There was one person who was clearly filming like a TikTok or YouTube short in the hallway for a little bit. And then when it got later, there were some people who were had a little too much. And then even later than that, there was some weird discussions. The interesting hotel experience. I'll tell you that much. 私も悪いレビューを書きました。we have 悪い。Whoops, that's really aggressive. Wait. Yes. Wait. There's no way that's the stroke order. It's this. Marui. Right? Yes. Yes. Marui. 私も悪いレビューを書きました。Okay.
多分悪いレビューを書きます。
多分悪いレビューを書きます。
悪い。シャトルバス。
頭。誰の
棚。
誰not simplified. Yes, no simplified. So 誰の and 棚 wait 棚 is key. Yeah, Anna. We went over Warui. No Atama yet.
何時に帰りますか？
何時に帰りますか？
ダニエルさんも呼びましたか？
呼びましたか？呼びましたか？呼び We do have yobu. I think this is the yobu. Yobu. Let's double check that. Yes. Yobu. ダニエルさんも呼びましたか？ 田中さんと中山さんを、中山さんを呼びましたか？呼びました。
田中
田中
さ
さん
ん
と
と
中
中山
山
さ
さん
ん
を
を呼びました
た。
すみません、そろそろ帰ります。
すみません。そろそろ帰ります。そろそろ。
他の人のレビューも悪かったです。
他の他。
他の
他の人のレビュー。
レビュー
レビューも悪かったです。
悪です。
Right. We just said that.
他の
他の人のレビューも悪かった
は
です。
です。
Alright.
お皿を1枚ください。
お皿を1枚ください。
お皿とコップがあります。
お皿、コップ、お皿と
コップ
があります。
あります。
軽いスニーカーが欲しいです。
軽い。軽いスニーカーが欲しいです。欲しい Was 欲しい No, that's not how 欲しい。欲しい。欲しい。軽い。軽い as in light. 軽い。It's probably that. 軽い。軽いスニーカーが欲しいです。ブーツ。
ブーツ
ブーツ。
レビュー。
レビュー。スニーカー。Cotton. Wait, coupon. Just
ク
kidding.
ーポン
キノコ。
車で行きませんか？
I don't have kinoko. I'm not even sure if kinoko has one. Let's go look. Kinoko. Oh, it most certainly does. 車で行きませんか？ That question mark. 一緒に Wait 一緒 Oh no Nah, I don't一緒 When have I used this for show? I feel like I recently used this for show. So, 一緒にバスの乗りバス停 No バスで一緒に行きませんか？行きましょうか？Should we? Would you like,
一緒に
一緒に、no?
バスで
I'm,
一緒に
no, 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 fine. バスで一緒に、no.
一緒に
I feel like putting it on it. 一緒にバスで行きましょうか。
行きましか
部屋のカーテンは薄かったです。
部屋、部屋、No. No. No, I think that's. Oh. Bu屋のカーテンは、カーテンは薄かったです。Yeah. Dang it! It's reversed. It's this way. I'm like, it was these radicals, but I don't quite remember if it was left or right. Alright, you got me. The bed? Oh my gosh, I was thinking the bedroom. Which is a different word. Anyways.
東
東。東。
誰の
Already went over 誰。
カーテン
シャトルバス。
ストレスライオンの赤ちゃんが見たいです。
ライオンの赤ちゃんが見たいです。赤ちゃんです、赤。赤ちゃん。Okay. ライオンの赤ちゃんが、ライオンの赤ちゃんが見たいです。
ロブスター。
Okay. リゾート。
リゾート
赤ちゃん。カモ。
船。Don't have 船。
部屋は静かじゃなかったです。
部屋は、alright, we might as well write it because we screwed up. Let's write it again. Right. Reinforce. 部屋。部屋は静かじゃなかったです。静か。で、wait. Yes. Right. Oof. That car. 静か。Okay.部屋は全然静かじゃなかったです。隣。隣。隣。No chance. Oh, no, I got it. Oops. Yeah. Yeah. No, wait. That's not it. There were two characters underneath. Oh, yeah. This. And then this. Yeah, Tonari. Konbanwa, Kozi. Eya wa zenzen shizuka janakatta desu. 隣の部屋でパーティーがありました。
パーティー。
彼氏は洗濯もできます。
彼氏。So we also can express 彼氏。彼氏。Right. 彼氏は Oh, I missed Zenzen in the last one. Zenzen. Yeah, Zenzen. Let's double check Zenzen. Right. Okay. So, 彼氏は洗濯。Oh, 洗濯。洗濯。Oh. 洗濯。Oh. Oh. 洗濯。Man, that second one is... I don't know how I feel about that second one. This is 洗濯。洗濯もできます。I think できます stays that way. 彼氏は洗濯もできます。And then 掃除。掃除。掃除 I think. Then something maybe no, I don't think that doesn't look. No. Yeah, Soji is tough. It's something. Oh, okay. No, I wasn't even close. The first character is fine. It's the second character is really nondescript. Oh, I missed a stroke. Okay. Soji. So Sentaku and Soji. Is this a layback day or a focus day? Both. It's both all the time. You know, we fill it out. Oh. Well, Japanese is a review day, so it's kind of a layback day. Today is day 3 for Japanese. This is our personalized practice, though. At the moment.
来週の
Whoops. 彼氏 No 彼 No 彼掃除そう
掃除
掃除も 掃除もできます。
できます。
OK。
お、皿。
お皿1枚ください。1枚、お皿を1枚
ください。
部屋のカーテンは薄かったです。
What did I do here? Oh, I selected bed instead of room. Okay.
私の好物は寿司です。
私の好物は寿司です。What does sushi look like? Yeah, sushi. How was the wedding? The wedding was pretty good. It was quaint, small wedding. There were a lot of interesting things. The bridesmaid speech was very interesting. Instead of writing a speech, she ended up gathering and co-conspiring with everyone in the audience to instruct to sing her speech to the tune of a Little Mermaid song. It was very cute. Everyone had a part, and then the audience, which on like the friends table thing, had a part in it. It was kind of like an ensemble. It was very improvised for the audience. Match made in heaven, or are those the only options? They seem great together, I suppose. I don't know the bride, so I can't really say. They have an interesting family dynamic, like an extended family dynamic as well. Very classical. One's reserved. The groom is reserved and the bride is assertive. So complementary pairing. 私の好物は寿司です。Largely family. Maybe two friends tables, and almost all the friends are attached to the older brother, which I know better too because I'm part of that group. The older brother is the best man. Yeah. They're going, interestingly enough, coincidentally, they're going to Dublin, or they're going to Ireland for a little over a week, starting at Dublin and ending at Dublin. So that's their honeymoon thing. So there's that. That's kind of relevant, coincidentally. Most of the groom's family is Irish. The bride's family might, he mentioned, is to some extent Irish. This is a couple from this part of the United States, so the majority they're either Irish or they're German. Mostly. So, alright, they're going, I mean, they should be over there now, I suppose. They have a little one coming. They have a little boy coming soon, like very soon. So, when they come back from their honeymoon, it's parenthood time. Very adorable. They're expecting in the beginning of next year. What is your favorite food? Okay.
Nan wa
Nani wa? Nani wa? No, nan wa. Nan wa koubutsu.
好物
No, 好物は何ですか?
か
Oh, wait. What is your? Oh, あなたの.
あなたの
あなたの好物は何ですか?
12時のバスがいいです。
12時のバスが Kasukai desu. I met in the friends table. I met a lot of the older brothers, high school friends, or like all friends. They're homebodies. So this part of the United States, at least the state, they're quite homebodies. So they're born and raised. There might be some travel every once in a while, but generally speaking, the people who know are the people who stay. So as far as friends go, the people that I know who are not from the area are the people who also happen to go to Otakon. And that's kind of how I met all of them to some extent. It was really my sister, but Otakon, the extended like the extended friend table, like the two friends table, you're either childhood friends of either the best man or the groom, or you are a friend of a friend who now becomes a friend, and we all still go to Otakon and work at Otakon. So that's kind of how that works out. I met some interesting people. I met a librarian, a social worker, a librarian social worker couple, a two nuclear power plant engineers, right? A marketing, like a big pharma person. It was interesting. It was very eclectic. A former I don't know, army, I'm thinking. Former army vet, fairly young. I don't know what they did at the moment. Oh, they work at a bank right now with the groom. Lots of peeps. An IT guy. They work IT backend for a bank as well. The place is one of the headquarters of a national bank is located there. So everyone doing big things? I think so. I'm doing pretty well. Seems like everyone's pretty great. Did I meet anybody else? No, it's very small. It was a really quaint wedding. It took place in a golf course. During the ceremony, it progressively started to rain, which was really funny. Obviously, everyone continuing the ceremony regardless, rain or shine. It is actually the third time that it's suddenly rained, like noticeably rained during a wedding. This is the third time that that has happened. One of the times, another who were one of my high school friends, it was a torrential downpour, so we like quickly snuck in and waited for the downpour to stop. Like it was in it one, hurricane winds all of a sudden, and then like 10 minutes later shine in rainbows. So that's happened multiple times. One of my best friend's wedding, we had it in a dining hall, like a classic ballroom hall, but it was pretty obvious that it was raining outside during that day. It was very noticeably noisy from the rain. Rain seems to follow, Rain seems to follow. I kind of like the idea of people sharing, exchanging their vows, and then it suddenly rains. There's something very poetic about that. Personally, if it rained, like if it was like if I were having a wedding and it rained, chill outside. I mean, obviously, it's with those one that's in lifetime things. Right? Brain can't get you down. 12時のバスがいいです。I think the couple seemed fun. There were not a lot of shenanigans. Interestingly enough. However, the people are very quaint. I think it was largely a family function. Like relatively speaking, comparatively to the last wedding I was at, there were a lot of shenanigans. Although some of the peeps were pretty funny. Everyone was very well behaved. So, it was a very endearing quality of everyone. They talk a lot about shenanigans and youthful, escapades and jovial misdeeds that they were thinking of doing. However, most of them, you have to keep. One has to keep in mind that everyone's like 40. when I'm the younger one in the table. I'm one of the younger ones because I am like 4 or 5 years behind. So almost all of them are 40. Because I was a friend of the older brother of the groom, and then I knew the groom through that. And then the groom is slightly younger than me. However, his brothers, the older brother is much significantly older than me. So pretty much everyone was a married couple, maybe 10 plus years together. So everyone was very adorable. And then the other table, there was one other table, the Otakon table. Most of them are either knowing that they're single or they're divorced but have children. So, and it was a very small, like, obviously the friends made up like 10% of the, so you have less of that. Everyone else is like married for more than 10 years and stuff. How do I know that? They did the anniversary dance. The thing where like everyone gets on the dance floor and they keep slow dancing until the year cuts them off. So pretty much substantial number of them were together for more than 10 years. All the way up to 50, I think. All the way up to 50 years. They're very classical, traditional, right? This is the state that I live in. Traditional values. Lots of traditional values. The ones that aren't are, I guess, who I'm more used to. I'm more on the liberal side, right? Like the kind of the new age professional side. So many other quirks and whatnot. But yeah, very traditional couple. Traditional values. Party no ato, party no ato,部屋を、oh yeah, 片付けます。片付けます。tidy up.
部屋片付け
片付けます。パーティーの後、部屋を片付けます。kata. Is it the same kata? つけるのkata. Oh, wait. I misspelling this? Oh, it is the same kata. Okay. Katazukeru. Zukeru. Wait. Why didn't it come up when I typed it? Oh, it's because they don't use the zu in the same way. How do you type this zu? I don't actually know.
片付け
Oh well, it's okay. Wait, I could type it up anyways. Okay.
11時
11の
の
電車。
電車
Alright, we have 電車。電車。Floppy. It's fine. That's gross. Yeah. Okay. Then. Yeah. Why is that so big? 電車。
母にギフトカードをもらいました。
母にギフトカードをもらいました。もらう stays もらう。Listening and watching to rain is relaxing. It really is. I didn't mind sitting in it. Actually, by coincidence, I don't know if it's coincidence. I think for whatever reason, I kind of thought it was gonna rain. So the way the reception, the ceremony was outside. However, the bride and groom and peeps were underneath the entrance of the location. So when it started raining, nothing happened with the row of people that I was sitting with because we were under a tree, like a very substantial canopy. However, the people who were sitting in the front and stuff, they weren't really assigned seats, but generally family was in the front, already negotiated implicitly. So all those people were sitting and they were getting significantly wet as it was going. Lots of singers. There was quite a lot of singers too. One of the bridesmaids also wrote a song. She had quite a lovely song. She was a guitar singer, solo guitarist singer. That was kind of neat. She broke out an acoustic guitar and more or less serenaded the couple. Let's see. ね、何にギフトカードをもらいました。姉。Yes.
ギフトショップ。
ギフトショップ。ギフトショップで、お土産をたくさん買いました。
買いました。
お土産、Oh boy. お土産 is gone. Earth. お土産 and then I don't remember the other one. Maybe this. I don't think that's right. No, it's this. Okay. I only remember the earth part and the crown. The top.
ホテルの広告は素敵でした。
ホテルの広告。広告。Don't think so. 広告. Oh, but I kinda do, though. I kinda do. Oh man, it's so long. Since I've written it. 広告. Oh. No. That seems alright. Yes. Kokoku. An ad. Maku means moist in the other language you speak? Oh, okay. Moist, huh? Interesting. What is the other language you speak? Moist PhD. ホテルの広告は、素敵。Do we have 素敵? I don't think we have 素敵でした. It's called Maori. Does that have any relations to the the natives in New Zealand? Or does Te Reo Maori is a different subgroup? Oh, okay. Yeah, by coincidence, I happen to have been to New Zealand, so I am familiar with some things. I haven't heard that much. We did have an opportunity to partake in some of the ritual, like village reenactments and like foresty stuff in South Island. It means language? Okay. I didn't realize you put something in front of it. It's kind of funny because I just say Maori, like Maori as in Maori the people and Maori as in the language too. It's kind of like saying Chinese and Chinese. Are you Chinese or speak Chinese kind of thing. The English translations. Although I guess a lot of people commonly say Mandarin now, because I tend to have to tell people that I speak Fujianese and not particularly Mandarin that well. ホテルの広告は素敵でした. So are you learning Japanese as well? I don't know how you got here. The hotel. Steakyでした. Hi, magazine. Vikram. Although I do have to say, when you wrote MAKU, what is MAKU in the Maori language? Because this is MAKU, not MAKU. MAKU. I imagine there's a difference between these two. Oh, non-countries they don't. It's an endonym, a local native name for our language, like. I see. An endonym, I suppose. I'm not entirely sure if I know how to differentiate that. I use terms wherever they are, so I use Hanyu a lot of times too, instead of like Zhongwen. And actually, I use Pontonghua, which is common language. Pontonghua. And Maku means nothing, but Maku means for me. Oh, interesting. And wait. Oh, is it the same? I'm kind of curious. Is this kue, or is it kue? Kue. That's interesting too. Oh man, I'm sorry, because I'm thinking of like Chinese and I'm thinking of like tones at the moment. But interesting. For me, Mark. Huh. I have no IPA, so I have no IPA experience. Wait, is it called IPA? Whatever. I think this thing. So I can't do English phonetics. It's not quite the first one because we make that noise for koe, but ue makes a single noise too, not like ue. Okay. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. In terms of endonyms, I don't know if Putonghua is a endonym, but I use that far more, which is like the common language, the commoner's language, to refer to when you used Hanyu. When you used the example of Hanyu, I use Putonghua as the reference to Mandarin instead of Zhongwen, and that can get a little confusing too. So I don't know if that's an end. Also, you were just sorting by Duolingo. Oh, I see. Interesting. What are you learning at the moment? What's your relation and interest in Duolingo, or like in anything really? I guess you could be a language learner, and most language learners end up just sorting themselves to the Duolingo section, but not necessarily use Duolingo. So that's also a thing. Oh, you're not learning anything specifically, you just have a vague interest in every language? Oh. What do you usually do when you're not having a vague interest? What I meant by that is what are your, like, what when you don't have a vague interest, what do you do? What do you do? What do you watch on Twitch and whatnot? Gaming, perhaps? Maybe something like that? Let's see. Where are we going? 何にホテルの広告がありました。雑誌 Dead by Daylight mostly. Oh, okay. DVD. I do know much about DVD. Or I know about DVD. I do not have a lot of experience. That's your favorite game at the moment, I see. Interesting. At one point, I was okay with Zatshi. Am I okay now with Zatshi? I am not. It's something. There's I don't think it's this, is it? That E. And then this. That could be it, actually. Yeah. That's it. Also, you were reading that Puntonghua refers to the standard Mandarin dialect. Zhongwen refers to Chinese language in general. Yeah, Hanyu is like the writing shared, but I don't know how accurate that is. Yeah, Hanyu reminds me more about actually instead of the writing that's shared, I think I feel like I use Hanyu to refer to the spoken, but maybe it's the other way around. I don't actually know. I don't actually know. Usually, Puntonghua is where I go to use most of the time. Yeah, not to be confused with Guntunghua, which is Cantonese. It doesn't help that they sound alike. And then I use hua, so I use the suffix hua instead because hujiu hua is what I actually speak at home. Hujiu hua. So instead of using yu or wen, I use hua a lot of times. And all of these have some element of learning, doing a language. Japanese, no, Japanese is usually go. Oh, sometimes it's, oh no, yeah, no, Japanese just sticks with go.
地下鉄で来ました。
地下鉄 we have 地下鉄 oh no. Simplify. 地下鉄 what is the not simplified? Oh. 地下鉄 chi, we had chi, so chi, and then underground, chikatetsu, chika, this is ka. Oh no, that's te. And tsu, maybe this and tetsu. That looks right. Oh, wait, no. Across is that. Chikatetsu. Messed up our tetsu there. Chikatetsu de. Whoa. Sorry. I had to cough. Chikatetsu de kimashita. So that's interesting that you have a general interest in language. Do you ever consider learning another language? It sounds to me like you're already multilingual, so that's kind of pretty rad, especially having a very isolated alternative language, I suppose. Fujianese is also one of them. Well, oh, I do say Fujianese in English though. Interesting enough. I think knees is kind of like hua. What was the other one? Min, in, un, like German, Italian. I think that's more like when. And then what was the other example? Yi. Oh, I don't know if English has a counterparty. The feel of yi. I think yi is closest to language, really. Yeah, you speak English and Maori, but whenever I try to learn other languages, it just doesn't click. Oh, I see. That's perfectly reasonable. No clicking language, huh? What is not even like a Pacific Island language, like maybe Malay? No, Malay is kind of hard to identify, huh? Thailand? No, Thai? No. Vietnamese? I'm thinking of like Southeast Asian kind of thing. I have no I hmm yeah. Ratatouille. Dead by Daylight. Hmm. Sorry, I'm trying to think of. Have you played Silent Hill 2 yet? The remake Silent Hill 2. I feel like Dead by Daylight kind of plays into bringing up Silent Hill 2. Or I'll throw a curveball and ask you if you're looking forward to watching people play Ghostface in MK1. No, and you haven't seen any of it? I don't do good at as a survival character. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking I'm obviously only connecting the themes of topical things. So whatever is topical right now in terms of like the Dead by Daylight kind of thing. There was a Dead by Daylight collaboration that didn't do so well with the studio that worked on, was it's not Remedy, it's the other group, but they tried to make a Dead by Daylight collaboration and the game kind of didn't work very well apparently. It's not Rational, no, it's the other group that does storytelling games or like horror psychological thriller games. Wizards of the Coast? No. Wizards of the Coast. It is Frank, the casting of Frank Stone. Yeah, the casting of Frank Stone, which is who was the developer of the casting of Frank Stone? Oh, Supermassive. That's right, Supermassive. The Supermassive games. Supermassive did okay. Their last game was The Quarry. The Quarry. You're not joking? There's a D&D crossover. Vigna is a killer in... Oh no, what? This is not the D&D thing. I mean, like, I'm not talking about Dead by Daylight. This is a separate game. Wizard of Coast. Yeah, they do collaborate their IP out, but there's no D&D. There's no like Wizard of Coast doesn't make games. If that's what I was smiling about. Wizard of Coast is not a developer, or they don't first front party a development game. Supermassive does though. They're the people behind the Quarry, and they released the casting of Frank Stone. I don't know who Frank Stone is, but apparently it has something to do with Dead by Daylight's lore. I came by Subway. I'm not surprised that there is a crossover with D&D though, for Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight is a showcase game, so you can fit any honestly, you can legitimately collaborate any villain with that setup. It was announced last year and I didn't see anything else about it. Yeah, it was released. It was released. I thought it was released. That's the most I've heard about Dead by Daylight outside of Dead by Daylight. Oh yeah, it is released. Yeah. It was released this August 26th, like 2 months ago. A little under 2 months ago. That's as much as I know at the moment. Being your favorite game, wanted to bring up something relevant. Other than that, Ghostface is going to be in Mortal Kombat 1. Yeah, the casting of Frank Stone. Did you come by bus? Kai-san.
カイさん
Kai-san. Kai-san wa?
は
Kai-san wa
バス
bus
で
でいましたか?
きまかどのメガネがいいですか
Yeah, I didn't think it looked great, so you never played it. Ah, okay. What other horror things? I'm like scratching at the bits for things that Dead by Daylight has a lot of like relevant pop culture stuff, especially around this time, really, actually. I mean, it's, October, right? Halloween time. We got some very topical flavor stuff going on around this time. Although I'm nothing. There is Terrifier 3, but I haven't seen it, so I have no idea what's in it. They added Chucky. Oh yeah, I did hear that. They added Chucky. He's a pain in the butt to play against, apparently. Oh. Dude, how often do you play DBD? Don't know. Don't know. Don't know. Megane. Where Megane? Megane. I don't know about it. I think that's just katakana. Yeah, katakana. Megane. Megane ga ii desu ka? Usually every day, but you took a break because you started having nightmares about being chased by the killers. Oh. That seems very reasonable. So you haven't played for a few days. That's understandable. How long have you been playing DBD? Sashimi.
刺身
Sashimi.
メガネ キャップ
Yapu. Mori.
森
Oh, Mori. Whoops. Mori.
レビュー
Review. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. No, we're fine. We don't need to do that. That's fine. Okay, we're back to our review. Okay, alright, we're back to our day 3 lesson. Okay, Fuyu.
冬
Haru wa kimashita. Haru wa kimashita. Haru ga kimashita. Ne?
春
Haru
が
ga
来ました
kimashita. Okay. On and off since 2021, about 100 hours game time. That sounds like you got your mileage out of the game. Do you play anything else? Like, do you like asymmetrical games? I think there are other asymmetrical games, right? What is it that attracts you to DBD? Murasaki.
紫
Yes. あれのシャツはゆるくないです。
かの
彼 whoops, I said 彼のシャツは緩くないです。
ゆるく
緩くないです。
ないです。
はい。
はい。
春。
緑。
あ
夏。
夏。
手紙。
Oh, you got me. I was thinking of 手袋。手紙 short. Interesting. It uses this character. Murasaki. Murasaki. Actually, you kinda hate asymmetrical just for some reason. I'm crazy for DBD. Oh, I see. And you also like hunting games and Red Dead Redemption. Are you excited about RDR being re-released for the PC? Or your console game? Also the hunting. What type of hunting game? Yes, but you have to save some money before you buy it. Yeah, RDR1 is finally having a PC release. It's about time. With that said, oh, you're a PC user? Okay, I see. Yeah, exciting times. Exciting times. Yeah, animal hunting. What type? Your favorite is called... Oh, yeah. Call of the Wild. Got about so much. Wow. Interesting. Animal hunting. How about a mix? I know you mentioned you're not much of a survival character thing, but instead of like Silent Hill 2, like the horror stuff, how about things like the forest? That's kind of a blend of whatever it is that resonate with you in DBD and Call of the Hunter. Oh, you love the forest. Okay. Bingo. The original, yeah. Sons of the Forest, I mean, it's doing well. Have you tried Sons of the Forest? And also the Long Dark? Yeah, Long Dark would be a great example too. Oh, you're waiting to get Long Dark. Ooh. I have a copy of the Long Dark. I didn't end up finding time to record it yet. But I still have that copy of the Long Dark sitting around too. And before us, actually, for that matter. I spectate on my spare time. I like to spectate. I like to people watch. To gather intel and information.
緑色
緑色のスカート。スカート買いますか？
スカート
スカートを買います。
まし
Did you buy
ましたか
Okay. You have not tried Sons of the Forest. It seems good, but a bit too nostalgia destroying. Oh, okay, fair enough. Like, what if you hate it? Oh, okay, interesting. Well, I can see why DBD would circumvent that. Most definitely. The curse of the sequel. Yes. If you are well aware of if you're in that group of people, yeah, the curse of the sequel is very real. I can understand that.
紫。
紫。
春。
飛行機。
夏。
緑。紫色のセーターを買いました。紫色 紫色のセーター。セーターを買いました。
この靴はきつい。
この靴はきつい。Yeah, tight. Not that type of tight. I just realized. Oh, that's kind of funny though. These shoes are tight. Oh, English. What are we gonna do with you, English? What's gonna happen? I have a feeling 1 year down the line, it's going to be a very different conversation when translating. Are you supplementing other learning with Duo, or is it just Duo? I've had many responses that I could come up with for this one. This is Duo is about the only my only source of my primary. We're gonna say use the word primary. My primary source of study exposure. Other than that, using those things, they don't necessarily introduce new vocabulary. So like, there's no I'm not doing any learning outside of Duolingo. Not too much learning out of Duolingo. Not a bad thing if just Duo. I don't mind how other people choose to learn. The reason why I'm saying it this way is I don't like the word just. So just and only are not true. And also I'm an academic, so I focus on the specificity and clarity between how one learns and how one practices. And there's a difference between exposure, learning, and practice. So when you're learning something, you're being exposed to it, and it's a novel concept that you're trying to be exposed to. However, when you're asking if I'm supplementing would be doing something in addition to Duo. So the question, to answer that question, at least I'm trying to answer that question, is yes, I supplement. I supplement by being me is probably the easiest answer. The most concise answer is I have supplemented learning language, learning Japanese and Chinese since I was 5 years old. When you supplement something, it involves doing something that's related to the thing, right? So I've been listening to Japanese and Chinese since I was 5 years old, and it hasn't stopped. So that's what I'm doing. So anime, video games, music, people, that's, yeah, so lots of other things. Actually, Duolingo now consumes most of that time, sort of. It's not all that time. Duolingo Japanese takes up 2 hours a day, 2 to 3 hours of the day, and Chinese takes up 2 or 3 hours of the day. So rest of the day, I probably have seen some Japanese or Chinese at some point. Every single day. Yeah, so I supplement by living, I suppose. If you're talking about learning, no, not too much. Not too much outside. Learning involves taking in new information. So, no, not really. Not really. There's no demand for it. As in, like, past the 2,600 or so vocabulary words, I haven't entered a context in which I have the desire to pick up more vocabulary or at a faster pace. No. Other than that, we use the Japanese we know, and we use the Mandarin, which is practicing as opposed to learning. I practice Japanese and Chinese when I'm not streaming. This is practicing too. Duolingo likes to use outputs as a practice. Hopefully that makes it a little bit clearer why I'm having problems answering the question. Usually when people ask questions about learning and practicing, I like to make sure that it is very clear what I'm saying when I say I'm learning and or practicing. Studying is learning plus practicing to me. So I study every day. I bought 2 pairs of socks. Oh, 靴下を 2 pairs. Which one are you going with? Nikumi? Nikumi or Nisoku? Nisoku.
靴下
靴下を
を
2
2
足
足
買いました。
また
ゆるい服を脱ぎました。
ゆるい服。Yes, they decide to keep it kana. ゆるい服を。Oh, I forgot about those predicates. We could use nugu. Nugu and kiru. Nugu and kiru. Fair enough. Add that to our recall for tomorrow. ゆるい服を脱ぎました。はい。That is such a weird phrase.
彼女は灰色の靴下を2足買いました。
彼女は灰色の靴下を2足買いました。灰色。
夏は涼しく、冬は寒いです。
夏は涼しく。涼しく。冬は寒いです。You can use that as a conjunction. That's interesting. Right.涼しく。夏。Oops.
夏は風が弱く吹きます。
夏は風が弱く No. Yes. 弱く Intriguing. 弱くね
吹きます。
Oh, 吹きます。That's right.
弱く。
Oh, this is the compound thing. Oh, what was the other example? Compound thing. Don't remember. Calling? Yobu? No. No. Let's see if it comes up again. Okay. 夏は風が弱く吹きます。
夏は風が弱く吹きます。
車を2台買いました。車
車は、あ、車を2台。
車を2台買いました。
お、2台。What? お、に、あ、
お、
車を2台。
台買いました。
That sounds so weird.
車を2台買いました。
いや、車を2台。車を2台買いました。秋服を買います。
秋服を買います。
早い。
早い。
待ちます。
待ちます。早い。待ちません。紫。
4台。
4。
さあ、3組。あ、
3組。待ちます。3台。
ああ、3台。
2足。4台。冬。手袋を2組買いました。
手袋を2組買いました。買いました。2組手袋。Oh, this is it. So waiting. This is the combination. Wait. Manner of waiting. Came up after all. So, 座って. Oh, interesting. The other one was an adjective turned into an adverb. Okay. 椅子に座って待ちます。
椅子に
座って待ちます。
待ちます。
今日は早く家に帰ります。
今日は早く家に帰ります。父、at the company. Ooh. 父は会社、そこ。yeah. 父はその会社にright. So 勤めています。父はその会社に勤めています。
ベッドは何台ありますか？
ベッドは何台ありますか？Wait.
少々。
Oh, I do not remember 少々. Oh boy. 少々. So そろそろ. 少々。少々待ってください。少々待ってください。No. 待ち No. Oh, machi. Oh, right. Oh, machi. Oh, okay.
ください。
Oh, interesting. I was thinking maybe use the te form. Omachi kudasai. This is a very specific phrase. Omachi. As opposed to matte. Shosho. Ish. Shosho. That one's gonna be
新
tough.
しい手袋を2組買いました。
新しい手袋を2組買いました。Oh, that was arranged different. How did this work? So, 会社、その会社は3人。その会社は3人に、wait.
その
その会社。
会社
So
3
maybe like 3人。
年
3年。3年に
に。
Yeah. 3年の。
はに
I know.
に
Seems right. Seems okay. Yeah, that was my returning of Wagotabi. Is the game out? The game is out. It was fully launched on Android and Apple only though. Android and Apple only. It was true since within the last month. It's been like 2 or 3 weeks since the full launch on Android and Apple. The Steam version is not until 2025 or later, depending on how enthusiastic the wish listing and stuff is. I was playing it the last 2 days because of Steam Next Fest. Izanagi, one of the developers, kind of sent out a message, an email to anyone who had beta access, which I did. So as a way to promote or revisit the game. I was planning on revisiting because I haven't played it since July, and they added 3 new locations. Okayama. They added Okayama and the surrounding area. So it was fun learning about conjunctions, adjectives, and non-adjectives. Before that, though, I did play for 3 days through the soft launch. They had a soft launch back then, and I was playing the soft launch one. So you can play it. It's $5. $5 USD, depending on where you are. They also have normalized the price to the region. In the United States is $5, which is fantastic price. I made a comment about that earlier, yesterday. Like, surprisingly, that is a price that is very agreeable. I was thinking like 10, but I guess mobile games, I'm not sure how often mobile games are 10, 10 and up. On Steam, if they sold it for 5, man, that is incredibly generous. I worked for that company for 3 years, so 3年はその会社に勤めました。
勤めました。
No, they did it as the time period, and then the kaisha is niwa. Oh, that makes sense. Actually, niwa makes it so much better.
早い電車に乗りました。
That makes it so much better. I didn't even consider that. 早い電車に乗りました。Yeah, using Niwa works so much better for that logic. Holy heck. Why didn't I think of that? Okay, その会社その会社には3年勤めました。勤めました。Have you played Wagotabi? Human? I think Wagotabi is incredibly promising. You played the demo? I think Wagotabi is incredibly promising. The demo goes up to, I think, largely the a little bit before the soft launch. However, and they haven't updated the demo too much. However, they update the game like within 3 months. They've been updating content. That's a really fast turnover considering how small the group is. Pretty amazing. So I'll probably revisit Wagotabi again roughly in another 3 or 4 months after Like a Dragon, Yakuza Pirate in Hawaii. Probably after that, which is in February. Unless Izanagi, one of the devs, the PR, the one that's responsible for community management, if they reach out and stuff, I don't mind revisiting games when asked. I mean, I don't mind a virtual owl telling me to do my lessons. I make exceptions. People go out of their way, even if it's a spam, like even if it's like a broader email stuff. The game's doing really well in terms of reviews. There's no metrics for Apple Store, so I can't tell. However, according to the Android app, it did pass the 100k download threshold, so that's pretty amazing. I do have to admit that $5 and what they have to do in that game to keep it running, that's a lot. And they have Patreon as well, and I imagine they have a very generous, probably selectively smaller but generous Patreon to keep up their game development. Because I think the way their game is written, done, and then like how it's presented, like the content that's presented, that requires a lot of resources. A lot of resources that would not be apparent in the game. Like you would not know its impact in the game. And it's a very wonderful passion project. And they have great localization too, apparently. So it would be kind of fun to learn Japanese using another language at some point on the road. Yeah, very active Discord. I like to people read on the Discord, whichever like game projects that I'm working on at the moment. Yeah, like to get involved.
携帯電話は持っていますか？
携帯電話 Okay. 持っています。携帯電話 携帯電話は携帯電話は持っていますか？
携帯電話は持っていますか？
Yeah, that's about the only question you could really ask with those choices. Uh, 貸して。テレビを貸して。いや、貸してください。
テレビ
テレビを
消し。
消し。Whoops. Wrong. syllable. 消してください。You know what's interesting about the listing on the mobile app regarding Wakotabi? It's number 35. So it makes me want to like install an emulator or something and then go through like a list of mobile apps in the language learning sphere. But it's number 35. And I'm thinking to myself, it's like one of a kind on the Steam platform, right? So it's like there really isn't something, a facsimile of it. In the category that is listed on, Wagotabi is number 35. And I'm very curious what are the other 34. Although I'm not a person who prefer to use my personal my phones as a form of pleasure or like anything in general. I minimize my phone usage. That might sound a little bit contradictory to seeing how long I spend on the desktop. However, when I travel and stuff, my phone tends to be one of obligation. So I don't usually have this conditioned behavior to use my phone as a primary device for productivity. Other than use, right? It's a mechanical use. So I am very unfamiliar with how all the apps, I guess, people like to tell me a lot about language learning apps these days. I think that's far more common discussion than even video games, really. 消しません。
消しません。
電気を消して電気を消しました。電気を消しました。消します。
消します。早い。緑。
勤めました。
消しません。携帯。
You've been limiting your phone recently, and now I have so much free time that I don't know how to spend it. That can definitely happen. Relatives, right? Relativity on consistency. Like if I drop, like at this moment, no joke, if I drop my Inktober stuff, I would have to figure out how I would replace all the time. So here's the thing, right? I like this type of perspective a lot of times. So if you have a limit, right? And generally whenever I'm operating, I like to stay in this limit. What that allows me to do is that if you can find yourself operating this way voluntarily, then you have all the options to liberate this time whenever you can. At most, I would say my obligations take up about this much time. I would say about 20% of the time. So often I have a sparing, right? A sparing of 80%. And oftentimes people, especially when it comes to like a device that is incredibly convenient, it's like convenient food. If you think about fast food, how convenience, when convenience happens, one has to keep in mind that this is voluntary. Hopefully it's voluntary. This number though, this little delta here, can progressively go up without moderation. So oftentimes when I think about helping people, like if someone is very much in a very bad place, we try to negotiate and figure out, okay, what percentage of your day, right? What percentage of your day and your time is devoted to what either is considered voluntary or involuntary, conditionally involuntary. And I think a lot of times, the thing that I'm describing here is voluntary, this involuntary time is encompassed by like at least 30% to 40% of something that was once voluntary, and that often involves convenient stuff. And the most convenient thing is consuming content on your most convenient device, which tends to be a phone. If it's not the phone, then it's the PC. So the idea is, oftentimes when I'm trying to encourage people to break the cycle so that they can find inspiration on their own, like I'm not telling them what the inspiration is. The idea is then I would try to offer them in a different activity so that you don't end up with that feeling where, oh man, now I have so much free time. What do I do with it? You might be thinking, oh, well, that's good. However, if you have a lot of free time and you haven't designated a proactive way of using that free time, lots of people who are in a deficient place, they would go back to doing the thing that they have, as opposed to finding inspiration and being involved in other things that they will naturally like to do on their own. So lots of times when someone says, okay, you have a lot of phone time, how about let's go out and watch a movie together? And with that, it will reduce your phone time, and you're trying to incentivize it to be more attractive than the phone. And funny enough, I was yesterday I was talking to Lotus was telling me about a podcast he listens to, and one of the guests they had was the CEO of Duolingo, Louis Van Daan. And it's related to this type of concept, right? Duolingo's design is made to compete for this. And if you're competing with this stuff follows. It's an incentive. So he got asked some tricky questions and he followed through on his vision. One of the major take-home messages in that podcast was that for better or for worse, for trade-offs and all the other things consideration, engagement before efficiency, or even before efficacy. Engagement even before efficacy. So although you can do both, obviously, but the thing is, the host asked the double barrel question, which is like the worst case scenario, the worst trade-offs and stuff. Obviously these both are happening at the same time. So this is kind of one of the core examples of how to counter that. You're trying to find things to fill your time right now. It's harder than you thought it would be. I'm glad you're trying to find things. And I hope you're successful. Because I feel like if you liberate time, and then you can do that more frequently, it's pretty... I don't know if you were here when I mentioned it. A lot of times, that whole 80-20 split thing, when I'm doing this stuff, it's not that I don't have time. I like to say this a lot. To get to the mindset that I'm trying to present here is, it's not that I don't have time. I always have this time. And now the thing is, I run out of time is different. Running out of time is different than don't have time, right? And I hope that when I see healthy people, when I think of healthy people, I think of people who have so much stuff that they like to do, that they run out of time. However, they always have time. They usually have time to liberate whenever they need time to do what they have to do. So, what you're describing to me is that you have spent quite a lot of time doing something voluntarily. However, that thing is very specific, right? It's very specific. And one of the things that I often encourage people to do is this time here, the voluntary time, generalize, diversify, because in my opinion, the more you generalize your voluntary time, the more likely that most things in your life throughout your time, when you're using this time, will be interesting. And then you'll get to a point where what I tend to say is, oh yeah, I would love to do that, but I don't have enough time at the moment because I have so many things that are interesting. However, if you really need me to do something, then I can stop doing whatever I'm doing and do that because I have to do it. I think a lot of times nowadays when people say they don't have time, my question often to ask them is, can you make time? Because the things that they say they're spending their time on, they're choosing to do it. However, not to be victim blaming, this can feel like have to do it. Like, for example, I have to check TikTok every day. I have to. It can feel like that, absolutely. So that's the tough parts that I encounter with people who do not have enough time for their needs. So like jobs, school, money, that type of stuff. They keep thinking that they have to do a lot of things they choose, and when you liberate that, it ends up being like, wow, I have a lot of time, so what do I do with it? And oftentimes, usually it's not to choose to do something they need. So hopefully you're having a lot of free time because you've already taken care of all your business, and now you're looking for inspiration. And I hope you find that inspiration. Having something to say about everything and constantly meeting people and you always have something interesting to say, it feels nice, in my opinion. So hopefully you begin to explore more about yourself. I'm a little stubborn here. I refuse to believe when someone tells me they're only or just interested in a few things. Like truly and earnestly. Because what happens when that thing disappears? What are you gonna do? My thought is, well, you could work more and do the things you need to do. That's fair. Some people do that. They fill in the free time with more work. Like, fill in your free time. Others, like myself, I suppose, I choose to self-develop, right? Get more interested in everything else that's interesting to everyone else. I think that makes it so that it makes like talking and interacting with people effortless, and then you don't really know how useful those things will be down the road. Like, imagine having a little brother someday or something like that, and you don't know how to relate to the little brother, right? Largely because you have very selective specific interest. What are you looking at right now, human being? What are you checking out? Are you looking to find things that interest you? I'm excited for you, actually. It's a great time. If you find yourself having a lot of free time, it's a great opportunity for self-exploration. I think genuinely people become so progressively more healthier and consistent when they are interested in themselves. As in, I'm not talking about being arrogant and prideful and doing what you want to do, but more you have time to explore for yourself, as in not do the things that you are constantly doing and every day. You're interested in writing. You've been reading about a lot more. Nice. What have you been reading, human? Oh, which, by the way, oh, hello there, Timmy. Ni hao. I haven't gotten to my Chinese lesson yet. Timmy, either. What'd you call it? In Wagotabi. Oh, here's a fun thing. You weren't there. However, I thought of you specifically. In Wagotabi, on one of the bookshelves in the library, in the Toshokan, one of the bookshelves talked about Souseki, or referred to the novelist that you mentioned before. And I was like, oh hey, I know this novelist now. Because of you. It was in the bookshelf. So that I was getting ready to make that comment. I'm like, oh yeah, coincidentally I know about this novelist now because you brought it up. Nihongo benkyou tanoshii ne? Kind of. Sort of. We're more like chatting at the moment. It's pretty usual. Pretty usual. Tanoshi. Tanoshi. Skoshi. Do you know Matsuo Basho? No. I don't read a lot. I don't get an opportunity to read a lot. If that's a novelist. You've always wanted to learn how to draw, and I have tried a couple of times but failed horribly. Wait. How do you fail drawing? Human? Like, I mean, I draw all the time. So, or I draw, this is the month of drawing. So, by all the time, I mean, in the month of October. How do you fail drawing? You just get frustrated. Oh, okay. Is there anything particular that makes you feel frustrated? He's a famous haiku writer. I have to haiku. I'll have to look him up. Matsuo for this evening. Matsuo Basho. I see. 1644. I do like reading haiku. Thanks for the share, Timmy. I'll take a look after the stream this evening. May I ask why you get frustrated? I don't think you can fail to draw. Mostly perspective, as in like you're talking about like the mechanics of perspective. Like this, is this corner pointing out at you or pointing into the screen kind of thing? It always looks flat. Oh, okay. Like this is a good example. The corner issue. I don't know my fundamentals. However, if you look at this, is it pointing in or pointing out, right? And then, you know, to create perspective, you can do something like this. So now this is the inside corner because it's darker in this corner. So now you're like into the corner as opposed to the corner is pointing out at you. Have you, I mean, this is satisfying. Have you ever taken a sphere and then trying to make it not look flat? Oh, like break it up into basic units. So if you take this unit and then you take this unit, right? You make this unit incredibly with checkered, and then you make this unit just a line, and then you leave this unit so the light source then comes from here. And then if you really wanted to do it, it will cast a shadow like here. You have, it looks fine when I use a stump. Oh, okay. Then, I just thought of something very sage-like you could say. Interesting. What is this sage-like thing? You have, it looks fine when you use a stump. Okay. I feel like that's something you can do. You can draw a lot of stumps. I'm sorry to hear that drawing is a bit frustrating. That's kind of a great avenue to explore. A lot of times I feel it's kind of like language learning when it's drawing. Whatever you do is progress, right? So feeling frustrated often comes from idolizing a product, as in like you have an ideal outcome. And I think drawing, I'm not sure about language because I'm not deep enough into language learning. In drawing, it rarely ends up coming out the way I envisioned it. However, I learned to embrace the process most of the time. That frustration can be more like disappointment maybe, but disappointment is a lot softer than being constantly beating yourself up and then causing yourself to stop. It's kind of like language learning, really. And as for what are you reading? Mostly poetry. You finally got volume 2 and 3 of 3 and 4 of Journey to the West. Oh man, have you ever watched TVB's Journey to the West? You gotta watch one of the classic Journey to the West. You have not? Oh, I would love to hear your thoughts on TVB's. I think it's 1999. Wow, been 25 years. It's somewhere in the 90s. The 90s TVB special, TVB series. Oh, I watched that multiple times. That's a pretty wonderful one. Actually, it's funny because I was watching Wukong, right? Black Myth Wukong, and it did 3 storylines or 3 implicit storylines that has been reenacted in the 1990s TVB special, so TVB series. So it was fun watching Black Myth Wukong's developers take on how to represent it. Largely the ones that deal with Bakai, the Pixie, is the events that I remember a lot about. People are like spheres. They always have more sides to them and more elements to them than you realize. Interesting. Or like spheres. They always have more sides to them. Interesting. Yeah, one could view spheres as an infinite number of planes, aka sides. And then if you have infinite sides, you get a sphere. Neat. if you know what I mean by the sphere. Like if you take like a plane and cut it through, and take another plane and another plane, and you like multiply this 1 billion times over, you get a smooth sphere. Sorry. I was thinking more literally there than figuratively. That's kind of neat. Here's something I can share. Wait, hold. Maybe there's some encouragement. Okay. Sorry. I've got to type these in for today so I can like share them. So this is what I did today. I did 2 prompts today. Here's one. Here's one for what is this? Remote. Remote is what we did. And it kind of looks 2D, kind of looks 3D. I don't know. You know, things don't always have to look not flat, right? These things kind of look flat for the most part, right? The analogy also works with how people are self-centered and they can shape their surroundings, making others join their orbit. Oh, that's interesting. Getting a little sciencey there. Yeah, so we got this piece today, and this piece didn't turn out like I had some major struggles. We got some struggle bus there, and then this piece was the next one, and then this was the one that took a quarter of the time. It took a quarter of the time because I had a better concept of it, and this was for Horizon. Or Horizon, the prompt. You thought about trying digital art because it feels you like this one? Yeah, it's because of the simplification and stuff. Like it was a better composition. I think a lot of times composition can levy a lot of useful things. The other one was experimental at best. So it can vary dramatically, you know. No need to get, at least in my opinion, no need to get frustrated. Hopefully you find it that you can revisit drawing at some point. I think things vary all the time. One day it's ups, one day is downs. It's kind of like language learning. Digital artwork is great. Yeah, definitely give that a go. Find new ways to engage in self-expression, right? Yeah, this I've been incorporating Japanese and Chinese themes into all my prompts. So this one is for the Lunar Festival, and these are rabbits looking at the moon because rabbits are jade rabbits are very important to the idea of a lunar festival in both Chinese and Japanese culture. The jade rabbits, and you know, I like the scale. The scale is nice. It's an unrealistically gigantic moon, right? We've got other like edgier things, like people seem to have liked anything that deals with a circular thing. So we have this. The other day, for nomadic, the prompt is nomadic. So then I decided to incorporate a wuxia warrior kind of thing, and then a samurai, right, for nomadic. And I ended up sticking with the prompt nomad as opposed, since they share the same characters. So yeah, it's really, these are not 3D, sort of. So like 2D a mix of 2D work and 3D work is pretty okay. The most 3D thing that I have done, nah, most of my 3D suck. I think the one that oh, people seem to like this one. This one. This is hike. I didn't find a satisfactory kanji for the meaning of hike, so we just went with hiking. But anyways, we have some kodamas and whatnot, so not too bad. You can do a lot without without needing to go 3D. Anyways, maybe some inspiration. This took the least amount of time. It's a good composition, you know. Anyways, I do these only in October, so I only draw in October. Yeah, it's a red panda. The mascot, a mascot of choice. If I had to draw something, it's probably a red panda. I'm not very great at drawing people. I think the closest thing... Wait. What was the closest thing that I've drawn of a person? Oh, this thing. This is the closest thing. The prompt was sun. The prompt is sun. So I drew something, representation. She is She-her, right? Or actually, I don't know the tone, but the goddess, the Chinese goddess of the sun. Red pandas are like the iconic Sinosphere animal, probably. Yeah. I included the red panda because I need an element of Japanese and Chinese. So the red panda in that prompt was for the Chinese, and the kodamas were the Japanese element. And then like this one is the sun. So I did a She-her. I don't know the tone, but the goddess representation with the 10 birds, the 10 suns. And then I needed not to draw another human being or representation of it, so I took Okami, the Amaterasu representation from the video game Okami. So Amaterasu being the yeah, and then you see the kanji and the simplified. Yeah. Taiyu, and then the right hand one is the simplified Chinese character. I pick a character that closely represents what I'm going for, I suppose. And then closer to the prompt. Right. And then sometimes, you know, sometimes you don't get to draw, right? Sometimes, or you get to color. I didn't get a chance to color this. Although I don't think I would color this. The prompt was passport. The prompt was passport. So I decided to do like the emblem of the US passport and fix it to a fix it to a door, a glass door, like a figurative door opening up. And then I drew the Great Wall of China, or parts of the Great Wall of China, and Osaka Castle. And that was my example of a passport. Yeah, that because I have to admit, much like a lot of people who dislike Inktober, this like the Inktober list this year, everything is about, like, most of the terms are very similar. Like, they involve very similar imagery, so you have to become increasingly more and more clever in how you reinterpret something. Like, a hike is kind of like a trek. Like, one of them was a trek and one's a hike. And a passport, I mean, that's kind of dealing with traveling too. And then there's like the horizon, which leads to a remote place that you, and then there's journaling, and like it keeps going. So I'm actually having quite a lot of fun struggling with the prompts being very, very similar. Like the sun, well, if you're drawing a sun, you would typically draw a horizon. So I didn't want to draw the sun again, or representation of the sun. So for the horizon thing, I draw the moon instead. I think it's really cool. I mean, everyone else, the vast majority of other people decided they make up their own thing. So that's perfectly fine. I like working with what is offered. So it is fun seeing how much I can figure out how to reiterate the same thing. Tomorrow's prompt that I have to do is roam, which is like hike and trek. So I have no idea what I'm going to do for roam yet. For the sun, I think I would do a mountain range with a big sun in the sky. Yeah, which admittedly, for one of the first ones, discover, for day 2, discover was the prompt. And I just drew a bunch of mountain ranges with the tiny guy down there who's ready to discover something. so I'm like, oh no, I'm running out of ways to do this. The next one is roam. This could be for roam, or trek, or hike, or a lot of things. And it has to include something Japanese or Chinese. So we're trying. I think it's a lot of fun. So you don't have to be great at drawing. You can also be really fun and clever with your idea. SPQR. What is that? Wait, wrong room. Oh. oh, that room. Yeah, no. A roam. That roam. This roam. I'm largely I'm sharing this because I want to I think human being coming up with great ideas and experimenting with ideas may also alleviate like wanting to draw things. Like one time all I wanted to draw were a bunch of pluses. There was one time I took a canvas, my very first one. It was a canvas, right? And the only thing I sat there doing was I just drew straight lines connecting all the corners. And then what happened was I decided to make something in each of the pieces. And they're all like 2D images, but then you embellish the glass and it becomes something interesting. So there's lots of ways, in my opinion. I'm kind of like peer pressuring a little bit. Don't give up on drawing. I think or go outside and like Oh, here's one that one last one. One last idea. When you're not digital. So this is non-digital. A lot of times they I can't spell digital. Ink spills. I like you can drop something onto a piece of paper. Like, I don't know, take a spoon out some liquid and then drop it onto a piece of paper, and it's gonna create like a pattern, right? It's gonna create a pattern and then fill it up. Trace it out. You can trace out, like, meticulously trace out the spill pattern and then fill it in with something else. It's pretty wonderful. There's quite a lot of things to get you engaged with drawing. Like, what does the spill look like, kind of thing. I like this guy who does ink drops. So he's Norse, I think, or something like that. He talks about Norse mythology all the time, but he would take an ink dropper and then just drop it onto a canvas, and then he would convert the object or whatever he sees into something. That's kind of a neat thing. Yep. Anyways, some ideas. I like the idea that people have a lot of free time. I personally am a little apprehensive when people don't know what to do with that free time. I feel I don't want to sound, this is a very cautionary tale, right? I want to be really serious here. Usually I'm not trying to be too negative or like a person who fears fear. However, when I see someone who has free time, or like hear that they have free time, and they say they don't have time or they don't know what to do with that time, that's not too far from someone who becomes progressively demotivated and become depressed over time. Someone who sleeps in bed and then gets up and realize they have to do something, and they say, I don't have time for it. Yet they spent all their free time not figuring out how to use that time to feel productive. So I lean pretty hard when I hear someone who has free time and not know what to do with it, because I hope you should know, you have ideas to use that free time. It is an opportunity to be far more happier, or an opportunity to become happier. Yeah, it's a pertinent discussion. Indeed. I feel if it's not a competition, however, those two things are equally potentially deleterious to someone's health. Someone who thinks they don't have a lot of free time, yet they spend most of that time on things they voluntarily choose to do, but they feel they have to do, versus, as well as someone who is very active and get all their things done, but they have no idea what else to do with the rest of their time. And that creates a greater and greater linger often. Giving someone like a shove and like pushing them towards finding something that they can be happier and happier, that's kind of like gold standard. At least there are a few gold standards in life. One of them is, if you have free time, make it work for you. Hopefully, right? Okay. All right.
電気。
電気閉めで消してをください。
消し。
Oh no。
お。
電気を消して
ください。
つくめました。つくめ。と、勤めました。
勤めました。
勤めました。勤めました。携帯。
携帯。
携帯。携帯。携帯。3組。
3組。
3組。勤めます。
勤めます。
勤めます。消しません。
消しません。
消しません。
ドアはゆっくり開けてください。
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 開けてください。We do have to get to Chinese. She has a cute cell phone. 携帯電話をかわいい。彼女は携帯電話をかわいい携帯電話持っています。Yes.
かわいい
かわいい携
帯電話
を持っています。
持っています。
窓はゆっくり閉めてください。
窓はゆっくり閉めてく。Please sell. They keep changing the verb. Like in swapping up the verb. ドアを開けてください。
その
ドア。
この部屋の電気は消しません。
この部屋の電気は消しません。Wow, that sounds so weird.
そのドアを開けてください。
そのドアを開けてください。あ。Oh, open.
持っていません。
持っていません。This? It?
そのドアを開けてください。
Okay. I think I have one more. Yeah, we have one more. We'll push the kanji section again. That makes 3 kanjis behind. That's fine. ドア。
電気を消してください。
電気を消してください。靴下。
3時間待ちました。
3時間待ちました。
手袋。
高校で先生を務めました。
高校生は
高校
高校
先生
高校先生で
務め
ました。
高校で先生を務めました。
Oh. Wait.
高校で先生を務めました。
Yeah, right. I put it in the wrong place. When I saw, I also read it as relatable. I think that's relatable. Yeah. I'm like it. I was thinking. I don't know if you I didn't know if you were referring to Atsui or Re, but the funny thing is you're reading a text that's using traditional Chinese, right? Is that why you would say? I mean, you would think of Japanese course while you're reading Re. Like what I mean is because the simplified, right? This one is this character, right? They end up using this as the this character instead, this radical. As opposed to this one. Well, actually, that's not it. It's this one. Oh no, it's not. This is the other one. Yeah. Yeah. No, that feels right. Oh, your brain just ignored the difference? Oh yeah, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. You know what's funny, Timmy? That's what Duolingo does. Intentionally in the Hanzi and the Hanji section. They deliberately make it so that you exchange shapes too, like general composition shapes. So largely you would see this general composition shape, and if there's like if you check the box, right, if two things match, then oftentimes you don't rely on the whole thing, right? Like kind of this thing too. If you're reading this and you're like, oh okay, well it's between these two, right? But what if it's the smaller two? It's like, okay, well now you have to read past these two. And it's like, okay, it's probably the first one. It's like, no, you have to read the third one. You see what I mean? Like, this is what Duolingo does all the time. And you kind of get used to it. And I laugh when I get caught off guard for like catching myself not reading the whole thing. That's probably one of like Duolingo's hallmarks. They're like, oh hey, you should be reading the whole thing. Look, he designed this course. Yeah, and they do it this way too, and it's not only did they not pick, these two might not look the same. They might not look the same. However, these are on the same row. It's on the T row. So it's te and pa. So they could have chose the different kana. So it can also sound similar. So they often chooses. They choose things in the same row as well. And in the Hanzi, in like section, they choose homophones. They choose they choose homophones, or I guess homonyms. I don't know what you call them really, but they would choose something that either has the same exact sound, or and written differently, or they choose a near sound or a tonal change. And honestly, I really like it. I like it for that because it's become normal. It's like a normal thing for me to pay attention nowadays. I wouldn't though, like in the long, like what I mean is when I'm not on Duolingo, you don't really need to read the whole thing. And that reminds me all the time when I'm reading like a video comment, a Japanese video comment, or like a Chinese video comment. It's like, oh wait, this character, why does this character remind me of this character, which is this character? Meanwhile, you don't really need to know any of these other characters to read that message. Like you can't, like, because context is so strong that you don't even need to read the whole character. You can read a part of the character, maybe even part of the sentence, and you wouldn't have to read every single word. Right. Tsuteta, yeah, tsuteta. All single, all the same columns. Just reading some of it plus context is often enough, yeah. Yeah. I remember that when that started happening, when I was in college, in English. So when I went back to like a creative writing, right? When I went back to having like a classic English, a literature, so Brit Lit. When I was in Brit Lit class, I noticed that I needed to stop doing that because we were back to deconstructing the writing, right? So when you're like doing compositional evaluation and you're looking at paying attention to rhythms, syllables, like doublets, and like Shakespearean writing with the like rhythm, cadence, and you have to read every word and consider the syllables and stuff. That's when I noticed that I stopped reading everything in English. And I think that's a natural response. I think human condition does that all the time. So I already see that. And Duolingo doesn't let you do that. It basically reminds you not to do that, which means the big deal is you become less efficient, or it prevents you from being efficient. What I mean is you can't skip things, right? It punishes you for skipping a 2. So in a way, I can see why it's funny, and I can also see why it's undesirable for a lot of language learners. Kawaii www is obviously in me. You know what kawaii is and what W means. So save your time and scroll past if you want. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So for me, I kid you not, I'm going to say this, and it's probably going to be a minority opinion. And I know this is true for other people who have watched me do this. I have no reservations in telling people that Duolingo slows me down. That is, even the CEO, in my opinion, in a recent podcast, suggested that they prioritize engagement when they have to choose between engagement and technically efficiency, but largely efficiency is more like efficacy, right? And my thought is, it's so interesting that I continue to have a tendency to try to be more efficacious and efficient, and yet at the same time, every time I'm using Duolingo, it slows me down, which is great. because honestly, I need to slow down. Ultra efficiency isn't necessarily best. Well, nothing is necessarily best. And I know I don't generally use absolute like absolute words oftentimes, although I'm very comfortable in using absolute words to negate another absolute absolute comment. Best would imply that there's no negotiation. So if there is something that is best, then it would habitually become the only thing that exists, if you know what I mean. Slowing down can mean your brain has to ponder things more. Yeah. It also means that it can also, it genuinely, in my opinion, the most important thing is you're tackling something under practiced. When you're slowing down, you're tackling something under practiced. Whether it's useful or not, you're learning to do it. So even the act of slowing down is a skill nowadays, which is pretty poetic, if you know what I mean. Like, what are the common behavioral issues that I secondarily encounter a lot of times, and I usually make other people feel better? The solution is often to get them to slow down. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about language learning. I'm talking about their life and like their feelings, anxiety, manic depression, manic disorders and whatnot. Slowing down, that's the skill. And it can be tough. And personally, I'm gonna tell you now, I'm gonna be honest, full disclosure. Whenever I get off Duolingo, when I'm reading video comments and stuff, I'm reading like every other word. Like I read the words like, yeah, I got it. Like, oh, hey, look, this guy is saying, oh, thank you. You really touched my soul and my heart for the like 30th time. It's like, oh, this comment is the same as this comment. And I do the very things that I say other people do in video comments. Like, I'm not saying that they're bad or good. I like to raise awareness that video comments are like that, right? When you read something and you read it a lot of times, you get complacent. And then when I slow down and look at the comments, like, man, I don't really actually know how to write that. You infrequently try out foreign language game websites. Oh, interesting. How did that go? How infrequently? Do you find that interesting? Makes for good immersion? I see. Yeah, I gotta mix it up every once in a while. So, Duolingo is going pretty alright. I think Duolingo does the thing that I don't do. So, naturally, it's slower. Like, what I mean is, yes, I do understand people saying you're not being efficient when you're using Duolingo. It's like, I agree. The thing is, Duolingo is teaching me something about myself that it's kind of fun. And some people say, oh, maybe it's a personal challenge. Like, you're just doing it. You're trying to learn a language using something that people don't like using. Like, yeah, you can kind of see it that way. It's fun that way. So, I guess. It's not like I'm doing it because I have to. Time efficiency at what? Anything. Most of the time, for me, efficiency is left for things you need to do. I was talking to a human being about the distribution of obligatory, involuntary, and obligatory time versus voluntary time that you use. Oh, it was a rhetorical question. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Efficiency at what? Fair enough. Yeah. Anyways. There's a math, quote unquote, not literal, but figurative math to whatever works for people. And mine just so happens to not be very topical or trendy. But like, there's more than one way to define efficient was like your point. Right. That, like, that is a rhetorical question, though. Like, it's a given, right? There's more ways to define anything that's a human construct, right? It's kind of like it depends kind of thing, right? A human construct, since we live in an Anthropocene, right? Since we live in an Anthropocene, human constructs are everywhere. So it goes without saying, it is great rhetoric. It's a good way to remind people that when you're operating on a human construct, the definition is indefinite. Like, definitions are indefinite, as a weird paradox. You gotta define what works for you, at least in my opinion. With our powers combined, the choice is yours. Sorry, I was thinking of Captain Planet for a moment, and then it kind of went somewhere else. Okay, so let's get back. I'm 2 hours behind. Schrodinger's efficiency. Schrodinger's efficiency. I'm gonna have to break that down. I might have to use that. 携帯電話は持っていますか？
夏携帯
消しません。
消しません
勤めません。
勤めません
勤めません。
勤めま
した。彼女は車を2台買いました。
秋服を買います。
秋服を買います。Okay. Let's go. Get faster. The Chinese lessons. Oh, today is new oh no. Today is new vocab day for Chinese course. Oh no. I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
風風
夏は風が弱く吹きます。
春服を買います。
春服を買います。父はね、いや、父は会社に勤めています。その会社に勤めています。
冬は服を脱ぎます。
冬は服を脱ぎます。The translation of this is so sus. I take Ochi, oh, this is the omachi. Omachi. So 少々お待ちください。Alright, we're finally done with discuss nature. I like that. I can discuss nature and art. Okay. So that's it for Japanese. I'm gonna get up, take a bathroom break quickly. So that's a wrap for Japanese. If you're gonna watch this later, arigatou gozaimasu, right? Until next time for Japanese, mata ne, ja ne, right? Ja ne, minasan. Yeah, get up, take a quick bathroom break. Maybe get some glucose. Maybe get some glucose, like applesauce or something to get my second win on. And I'll be back. Thank you.